Welcome to the Africa Speaking Podcast. The podcast discusses critical issues about the African continent. It is brought to you by Toyeza Communications in Nairobi.
Welcome to a story of transformation and environmental stewardship. I'm your host, Maslin Nyambala, and we are exploring the inspiring work of Clean Start Africa. We'll be highlighting the vital role that rehabilitated formerly imprisoned women within this organization are playing in mitigating climate change, offering not just second chances, but a chance for our planet as well. Let's delve into their impactful story. Karibuni sana, welcome. Maybe if you could introduce yourself.
Thank you very much for having us here. My name is Cedric Alusa, Communications Manager, Clean Start Africa.
Thank you so much for welcoming us. My name is Jane Kiio. I am a TOT in Clean Start Africa.
I want to really appreciate taking your time to avail yourself for this discussion. So perhaps tell us your organization, where you're coming from, and what you do.
We come from Clean Start Africa. Clean Start Africa is a social enterprise, and what we do is rehabilitate and reintegrate formerly imprisoned women who've been impacted by the criminal justice system. And why we believe this matters is we address a very, very critical gap in the justice system that focuses on the human element that is usually overlooked, and that is the women, girls, and children under the age of 4 years. We do this just not only in terms of targeting the women, but we also look at the systemic angle and aspect of it all, whereby by systemic I mean advocacy, and we do try as much as possible to challenge and advocate that some of the laws that within our justice system and which many of our women fall victim to are done away with. And here we're looking at the Petty Offences Act.
Okay.
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
maybe you tell us your experience and your story. What happened?
I am an FIW, that is a formerly incarcerated woman from Langata Women Prison. And before I was incarcerated, I used to buy all the newspapers and sell. And by so doing, I was caught with a fake document, which caused me to be sentenced a period of 6 years imprisonment or a fine of 200,000, which I couldn't even afford to pay it because all the newspapers couldn't afford to raise 200,000. So it caused me stay in the prison.
What are some of the challenges the women who interact with the criminal justice? Cedric.
There are quite a number of issues that women who interacted or have been impacted by the criminal justice system. And key among them is in terms of the lack of a certificate of good conduct upon release from prison. And we are aware that most employing agencies or organizations require that as a requirement, and the fact that they're not able to do this knocks them off from the employment table. Another thing that they face is a stigma, because not everyone wants to associate themselves with someone who's been in prison, and in so doing they feel left out, and it is a very, very huge challenge that the women face.
And there's a whole issue, and Jane has mentioned that she was trading in old newspapers, and also when she was arrested, they required a fine of 200,000.
Yes.
What are the characteristics of some of the women who are being arrested?
Most of the women who've gone through the justice system and when upon release, one is poverty. They find themselves in a situation whereby they're living from hand to mouth, so they're always out there seeking for ways to fend for their family, and in so doing they end up doing hawking. And as I mentioned earlier, there's some of these laws which are quite archaic, so to speak, like loitering, soliciting, And at the end of the day, all these fall under petty offenses. For instance, the way Jane has mentioned that she was given the option of paying a fine of 200,000 shillings or face imprisonment of 6 years. I'll just give an example. And when a woman is arrested by Kanjo and is taken to the Kanjo courts and is asked to pay a fine of 3,000 shillings, and yet the stock that she is selling is around 1,000 shillings, you ask yourself, where does she get the money to pay that 3,000 shillings? And yet the stock alone is 1,000 shillings.
Yeah.
These women find themselves in prison because they're not in a position to pay that. And also another thing is that most of them lack the capacity to hire legal representation, get a lawyer to stand in for their case and argue their case for them. So you find that with this, most of them find themselves in prison, and the number is quite staggering. We're talking of close to 70% of women who are in prison right now are in because of poverty and petty offenses.
Now they were already poor, they've gone to prison.
Yeah.
They've come out, it is still worse off.
Yes.
Now you now don't have the certificate of good conduct, and you have stigma. What is Clean Start doing to try and intervene?
What Clean Start is doing in terms of interventions is getting these women take up sustainable economic activities. And how we go about this is by establishing chapters. These women, upon release, depending on the region that one comes from, they set themselves up in chapters. And each chapter has close to around 12 women. And they decide themselves what economic activity that they're going to undertake. Be it poultry farming, be it beekeeping, be it peanut making of bags, you name it. What we encourage these women to do is when they're in those circles of healing, we call them circles of healing, they decide what economic activity they're going to do. And once they let us know, and they're guided by a constitution that they themselves come up with. Once they let us know, we guide them now. We offer them training in terms of be it communication skills, be it project management, be it basic financial skills, bookkeeping, you name it. In terms of the various economic activities that we have, and one that is of success to us at the moment as we speak is the briquette making, charcoal briquette making. And I say this because we've seen quite tremendous growth with it. We had started off with training 10 women, and out of the 10 women, more have come on board, and 30 have trained. So in total, you have 40 trainers of trainers, and with this, we are looking at a scenario whereby they'll now go out. Remember, I mentioned that each chapter has 12, and within the country, we have close to 50 chapters. Those are 600 women that we're impacting, and doing different economic activities. But now, when we narrow down to the charcoal briquettes, we have the 40, and a key point of interest for us is in Nakuru County, because the women there have shown interest to take up charcoal briquette making, and we are looking forward to setting up a charcoal briquette making plant in Nakuru, and close to 70 women will benefit from this training. And the reason why I say they'll benefit is that upon training, because the training takes 2 months, upon completion of the training, they'll be in a position to fend for themselves and do legit economic activities that put food on the table for their families.
Okay. Jane, if you could tell us, you are now one of the TOTs.
Yeah.
You've gotten out of prison and you've started the training. How was the training like? How long was it? If you can share.
Before I went to prison, I didn't have any skill. Inside the prison, I got Clean Start, who took me through the SPEAR program. That is a healing process. And when I came out of prison, they also took me through Ufunuo program. That is also a continuation of the healing process. After I healed, Clean Start took me to many trainings. One of them being charcoal briquettes. So we went there being 5 of us.
Yeah.
We trained the charcoal briquetting and we qualified. another cohort also came. So we took it from there. We started training our fellow FIWs, that is formerly incarcerated. As a TOT, I am training the women to do charcoal briquetting, whereby I got many of them being benefiting from the charcoal briquettes because they are getting food from the charcoal briquettes. They are selling it and they are also interested.
How do you make your briquettes?
I do make them with the charcoal dust. I collect the charcoal dust. Some of us do sell to us. Yeah, they sell but at a lower price, not that costly. I carbonize them. I also collect the potato peels. I also carbonize them.
When you say carbonize, what do you mean?
By carbonizing the potato peels, once you put them in a jiko, they will give out smoke. Carbonizing is that way of removing the smoke. It cannot harm you. We dry them, we grind them. We can also boil them and blend them. We use the potato peels as binders. We can also use maize flour. We can also use cassava peels. We can also use banana peels like that. Then we mix it with our charcoal dust. Before we mix, we sieve the bigger particles of the charcoal dust. We mix them. Then we take them to a processing machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a machine.
For now, we have only one, but we are looking forward to have many because we are many, and we are looking also forward to train many women around the country because, like my colleague said, we are going to train Nakuru. They are ready. They are also waiting for us to train them.
You're saying you've trained 40 and you are 600. What does it take to train the women? And I take cognizance, you've said that it is the women of Nakuru and Nairobi who have expressed interest in this particular economic activity. But what does it take to do a training of this nature?
The training takes place in two ways. There's the theoretical bit and there's the practical bit. What is needed basically stationery. That is the writing material. We require demonstration bits and clips which we record for these. Practically, we require the raw materials because we have to ensure that the women when they're training, they train with the real.
You need the charcoal dust.
You need the charcoal dust.
You need the peels.
You need the peels.
You need the machine.
You need the machine itself.
You need a blender.
We need a blender. We need a grinder.
You need a grinder.
We need sieves to ensure that the entire training is a success. Those are the things that we require. We're not in a position to avail all these, and that's where now we seek out partners who can support this in whatever form and to whatever manner, be it in kind, be it in cash, to just ensure that we carry out the training successfully and adequately.
How long does the training take?
It takes 2 months.
Theory and practice.
Yes.
Is there a way it can be condensed?
Yes, it can, but as is always the case when it comes to learning, if you condense something and too much, you may miss out on certain aspects. And the way the curriculum has been curated, ideally that 2 months is the ideal for proper training. The training alone, it does not just entail the process making, but also the packaging of the product. We're just not looking at the actual briquette itself, but you're looking at the woman upon completion of the training. She is an entrepreneur. So what does she need? She needs communication skills. She will need basic financial skills, bookkeeping skills. Marketing skills she will require. Project management skills, because making the charcoal briquette, it's a project in itself. So we ensure that at the end of the day, the woman leaves the training complete in all aspects possible, so that when we release her to the world, she can stand on her own 2 feet.
All right. Are there some best practices you have picked out in the course of your work?
We've picked up quite a number, and this is courtesy of the women themselves, having trained. There's a bit of compacting the charcoal briquette into pellets. Initially, the machine that we were using wasn't compacting the pellets firmly. And the effect of this is that it ends up burning very, very fast because it has air spaces. And these air spaces, now oxygen sets in and it burns very, very fast. But over time, we've managed to acquire a machine that does the compression very, very compact, such that you find the briquette being able to burn for as long as even 8 hours.
As my friend said, we need to compress it that it is firm. There before we used to work with our hands. So these ones for our hands do burn very quickly. And the charcoal briquette itself is friendly. It has no smoke. It lasts for a long time. You can also light it and go like you go to the market. When you are back, your food is ready. It's not that much overburnt because you put enough water. So briquette itself is eco-friendly. Yes, so it's why we need like more partners to hold our hands so that we can also help our fellow sisters, fellow FIWs, and also other people to know on how to get money or how to sustain themselves instead of going back to the prison. Because we have come to find that when we leave them aside, a woman is the pillar of the house. And when a woman is left aside, everything is collapsing. So we have come to find that when we support our colleagues, we support the whole Kenya. We support the children, because like when a woman is going to the prison, she is leaving her children behind. When these children are being left like mine.
How many?
I'm a mother of 4.
Okay.
They suffered a lot. So these children suffer from stigma because their mother is not there. They cannot get food. They cannot pay for their house rent because, like me, I'm a single parent. I am the one who is supporting my children, my family. So when I'm not there, my children suffered because they cannot even go to school. No shelter. The landlord chased them away. So we are trying to avoid those stigmas which are affecting the children and also the parents.
In your training, are you having the emphasis of the fact that we are having a climate crisis and the role that the briquette is playing in terms of ensuring that forests are not cut, that waste is being managed well, just the whole contribution of this work to climate change adaptation, and definitely building resilience amongst women who have interacted with the criminal justice system?
Yes, we do, because I'll focus mostly on waste management and disposal. When you look at the hotels and the materials that you're using, we're talking of potato peels, you're talking of banana peels, you're talking of cassava peels. For us, we're looking at it as, instead of just throwing these things out there in the environment, disposing of them in not so good a manner, we are utilizing these potato peels for something good. And from the aspect of the environment, the charcoal briquettes that we make, they're smokeless. Picture yourself, you're using a jiko, that's carbon monoxide because of the smoke. Health-wise, it's not good. So with the charcoal briquettes, we are knocking off that aspect of smoke. There's also the bit of eyesight because of the smoke. If it's very, very smoky, it will affect the eyesight. As much as yes, there's the environmental bit, we're also looking at the health angle of it all, such that the two go hand in hand. Through the charcoal briquette making, we are utilizing the raw materials that we are using are raw materials that are easily found but poorly disposed of. the fact that in our communities, it's the women who go out there to seek and ensure that the family is fed. So they spend quite a lot of time in the kitchen. And remember, the women that you're talking of, as I mentioned earlier, close to 90% of them go to prison because of poverty. And we are offering them a solution that is, one, cheaper than the normal charcoal. Two, it is eco-friendly in the sense that the materials that we're utilizing are locally available, and we are addressing the issue of waste disposal. We are giving them an economic livelihood that is sustainable in the long run.
And Jane, would you like to add into with regard to the climate angle?
Yes, there will come a time that trees will not be cut. And we were trained that even if no trees, you can also use these rice yeast. Like if I'm in Mwea and there is no charcoal dust, I can use rice yeast. I carbonize. I make charcoal dust, charcoal briquettes.
The rice, Nini.
The rice yeast, yes.
The waste.
The leftovers, yes.
Yeah.
If I'm like in Nyanza, I can use these leftovers of the sugar cane. I carbonize them, I use them. So we are still working on this climate change so that we don't interfere with the trees like that.
Okay.
And we are there, we are done.
Okay.
We are earning, we can sustain ourselves.
You're looking at the locally available material from different chapters that can be used
from different areas.
In other words, it is a work in progress.
It's work in progress, and the potential is quite huge.
It's huge. Yes. I wanted to find out, like for you now, where you've started, what are your next steps in terms of just expanding it, addressing climate change, while also supporting the women who have gotten out of prison?
First of all, we're looking at having many more women join the program, because we want to kill two birds with one stone. Give them a viable, sustainable economic activity. And two, address that urgent need of ensuring that the environment is not depleted. So we're looking at expanding the program in Nakuru. As I mentioned earlier, 70 women are already ready to take it up. We also want to take it up in Busia. We also want to take it up in Nyanza, Homa Bay. In Meru, the women also there, the chapters there have also shown interest. And just a fun fact, there's a woman who's already collected close to 2 tons of charcoal dust.
Somebody has collected 2 tons.
The women there.
In Meru.
In Meru.
Ready. And there's a lot of banana there.
Correct.
Banana peels.
Yes. Correct. I was coming to that. You totally preempted what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Now you can ask yourself the potential that the region, if a partner or a potential partner will come on board and help us set up a plant in Meru and have the women work.
From your experience, are there gender or age issues, dynamics that you have seen as you are implementing this climate adaptation or in around the work that you're doing with the women?
Given that most of our work and most of our beneficiaries are women, one thing that we have picked up based on our various prison visits and also our chapter visits is that literacy levels are quite low. And in a way, you find that now this leads them to seeking activities or alternatives that will give them quick wins of a livelihood in terms of money. So you find that a good number find themselves in selling alcohol, illicit alcohol. And what we're trying to do is we want to take them out from that space and into this space of doing charcoal briquette making, utilizing the locally available resources. And given that we are aware of the literacy levels, so it's very hands-on, and we guide them through the motions and through the paces of how to go about it. And also most of them are single mothers. Like in prison, 70% of the women are single mothers. They're in prison because they're trying to fend for their families. So we tried as much as possible to offer solutions that address that bit of seeking a legal livelihood for them.
You also said that they're quite young.
Yeah, they're quite young.
The women who are imprisoned.
Yeah, 69% of the imprisoned women are aged between 20 to 39 years of age. And you can imagine this is like the productive age, and a good chunk of it being spent in prison.
Do you find that there are some policies and legislation, whether they're in climate change or within the criminal justice system, that you would want to speak to?
First of all is the Petty Crimes Act. Why sentence someone to 6 months in prison for failing to pay 5,000 shillings fine? And we are all aware that the woman is the glue that binds the family unit. Why break the family over 5,000 shillings? And as an organization, we're trying our very best to propose that alternative sentencing methods are adopted. The community service orders that the magistrates, the judges take this up, probation and aftercare services. They utilize this so that the family unit is not broken. And at the end of the day, someone pays their debt to society in a manner that does not destroy the family.
Do you see that some of these community services that the women with petty offenses could do could be climate-related responses?
They could be climate-related responses. We're looking at if it is cleaning the environment, unclogging the waterways. Why not utilize this? Tree planting. The government has this tree planting exercise. Why not take the women who are serving the short sentences, the 3 months short sentences, and have them carry out tree planting exercises across the country? We have 44 women prisons in the country. Instead of one being inside there, can they not be part and parcel of trying to do the afforestation processes outside of prison? Plant the trees.
Perhaps maybe if each of you have your final word.
I could say it to the government. When a woman is being sentenced, that woman first is in stigma. The woman cannot even listen to the readings of the sentences. Many of them don't even understand what is being said in the court because there is these court languages and you cannot even understand it. I can urge the government to explain clearly to the woman that she can understand what is going on there, because when she is being sentenced, her mind is back at the children at home, such that she cannot even know what is going on. She cannot even know what she is being sentenced of, although it is being read, but the mind is back at the children. So that woman is in a lot of stigma. When they reach to the prison, it is when they come to understand themselves. They start asking the prison wardens, like madams. We call them madams. Like, madam, what was my offense? What is my sentence? When am I going out? How long is my... Because she was not there.
Cedric, closing remarks?
These formerly imprisoned women and the imprisoned women, they are a segment of a population that is very, very much neglected. We're looking forward to working with partners. And if I drill down to the charcoal briquette element, we will be able to touch so many women and so many households at the end of the day, through this charcoal briquette making opportunity. And they should feel free to reach out to us. Our offices are at Ridgeways on Kiambu Road. You can be found on our socials, Clean Start Kenya, Clean Start Africa. Basically, that's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, even our founder, Teresa Njoroge, through her socials. Feel free to reach out to us and help us make a huge difference in the lives of these women and the children.
A powerful reminder that positive change can blossom in unexpected places through unexpected persons. Thank you for joining us as we explore the incredible work of Clean Start Africa and the inspiring women at its heart. I've been your host, Marceline Nyambala.
Thank you for listening to the Africa Speaking Podcast. Join us in our next episode, brought to you by Twaiza Communications in partnership with Forum Sieve. For any comments and views, you can reach us through our website, www.africaspeaking.org. You can also reach us on Facebook, Twaiza Communications, or on our X handle, @TwaizaComs. You can also write to us on email, info@africaspeaking.org.